All right, so today on Rock Rewind, we're going to talk about the Johnny Cash family tree. And if you've never thought about it or heard about the Johnny Cash family tree, it's kind of, there's a lot of famous people in it. So before we get started on the Johnny Cash element of things, let's take a look at a lady that he ended up marrying later on in his career, June Carter Cash. Before Johnny and June got married, she was married to a country singer named Carl Smith back in the 1950s. And they had a daughter whose name was Carleen Carter, who became a country singer in the 1990s. Carleen Carter, back in the 1980s, was married to a rock singer named Nick Lowe. You might have heard the song, I Knew the Bride Before She Used to Rock and Roll. That's Nick Lowe. They were married. Anyway, so June Carter and Carl Smith got a divorce, and June Carter started hanging around Johnny Cash, and they got married when they were out on tour. So Johnny and June got married. They had a son named John Carter Cash. And Johnny Cash, from a prior marriage to a lady named Vivian, had a bunch of kids, but two of those kids in particular are important to the story. Roseanne Cash was one of the daughters that Johnny Cash had with Vivian, and she was married to Rodney Crowell for a good part of the 1970s and 1980s. You might recognize the name Roseanne Cash. She was a country singer in the 80s. So was Rodney Crowell, and Rodney Crowell also was an integral part of Emmylou Harris's band, and he also did some time with Linda Ronstadt. Roseanne's sister, Johnny and Vivian's daughter, Cindy Cash, was married to a country singer named Marty Stewart, who you might have heard from the 1990s. He had a country career. Marty was actually Johnny's guitar player for a while in this band, and Cindy and Marty got a divorce, and Marty married a country singer named Connie Smith, who was popular back in the 1960s and 1970s. Kind of an interesting web. And if you, like I've always said, I would love to have been at the Johnny Cash household, say, Thanksgiving circa 1989. It must have been quite the interesting round table. That's today's Rock Rewind.